let's talk about another man in the middle of a firestorm, Ben Carson. But if you asked him, he's not. He doesn't back off what he said to Chuck Todd a week ago. And even though Martha Raddatz and Jake Tapper on Sunday tried to blister him over his statements when he says, "If I would not be comfortable, I would not advocate the elective. I would not advocate."
He would not support a Muslim who embraced Sharia law.
He wouldn't advocate for a Muslim because if they embrace Sharia law. But he went on to say he would have to make sure that candidate would be adhere to the Constitution, not to his religion.
That's right. And he actually went head-to-head with Martha Raddatz when she decided to just show part and quote him partially instead of including all of his thoughts. Well, he took it to her.
And you said, Kate, that we put a Muslim in charge of this nation. I absolutely would not agree with that. Do you stand by that now?
Well, first of all, what I said is on a transcript, and it's there for anybody to see.
I'm reading the transcript, Dr. Carson. That's exactly what you said.
No, read the paragraph before that, where I said anybody, it doesn't matter what their religious background, if they accept American values and principles and are willing to subjugate their religious beliefs to our Constitution, I have no problem with them. Why do you guys always leave that part out, I wonder?
I don't think we do, Dr. Carson.
It does look a little selective, though. We asked you what you thought. Brenda on Facebook said the media is doing what they do. They are trying to sensationalize the statement for ratings. I love his honesty and his character.
Chip on Facebook adding this, of course, if he were bashing Christianity, the mainstream media would say nothing.
All right, but they're not stopping. Meanwhile, Kim emails us and says this: I believe the media will not let go of his Muslim statements because they have nothing else on him. I don't know much about Dr. Carson, but what I do know is because of his past statements, he absolutely has my vote. And by the way, they ended the CNN interview early as people, you could hear him in the background.
CNN didn't end it.
Yeah, Ben Carson did.
People.
Well,
his people walked in.
It has not hurt his numbers. He is up to 20% support from Republican primary voters right now, neck and neck with Donald Trump, who today at 11 a.m. at a press conference is going to release his new tax plan. And one group, he says, will pay absolutely nothing. Zero. Don't believe me? Listen to him.
We'll say this: there will be a large segment of our country that will have a zero rate. And that's something I haven't told anybody.
The tax cut for the middle class is going to be what?
It'll be significant.
Yes, but what?
I can't tell you.
Why can't you tell me?
Because I just don't want to now.
You know what?
He will today.
He will arm wrestling there.
Today at 11 o'clock from Trump Tower.
Yeah.
He did talk a little more with Scott Pelley last night on 60 Minutes. He said that his tax plan will grow the economy. They're going to take in the same amount of money as we're currently taking in, or maybe even more. Major tax reduction for almost all citizens and companies, cuts the middle class, said some very wealthy are going to have their taxes raised because he feels that unfairly, like the hedge fund guys, barely pay anything. He said some people who are getting unfair deductions will have their taxes raised. And that is all coming your way 11 o'clock this morning from Trump Tower. I got a feeling you're going to hear it here in all the channels.
His argument
live.
is that those that are not in that lower tax bracket anyway aren't paying taxes anyway. So he's just saying this is a reality in his mind. And then he also said he doesn't want to have certain people on Wall Street getting away with, quote, paying no tax. So big bullseye on Wall Street there.
So everyone's saying, Donald Trump, you need a second act. Well, his second act is beginning. He had this immigration plan was his detail, and this second act is now a tax plan, and I think he's going to be talking about what to do in the Middle East shortly after that. Let's see how it goes over. Because then he has substance to talk about rather than people talking about why'd you say this about this person, why'd you say that about this person.
And it started with immigration. You know, he was talking about what he would do, and then people were saying, well, we need some meat on those bones. And then he had a very detailed, and, you know, it was well received by some, plan on immigration. Today, phase 2 on Texas.
That's right.
All right.